We live in a world of noise. External noise, traffic, notifications, the endless buzz of information. And maybe even louder, the internal noise, the chattering of our anxieties, our to-do lists, our regrets, our fears. In the middle of all this, there's a deep, almost forgotten human longing. A longing for quiet, for stillness. Not just the absence of sound, but a stillness inside. And this isn't a new problem. In the 4th and 5th centuries, men and women fled the noise of the Roman Empire for the deserts of Egypt and Palestine. They weren't running away from the world, but into something. They were searching for a state of being the Eastern Orthodox Church calls Hesychia. It's often translated as stillness or silence. But Hesychia is so much more than that. It's not just a meditation technique. It's not about emptying your mind. It is, in the words of the Church Fathers, the silence of the heart and the unceasing prayer of the mind. Think of your mind and your heart as a lake. The outside world, the winds, the boats, the people throwing stones, these are the distractions and passions that churn up the water. It becomes muddy, turbulent. You can't see anything clearly. Hesychia is the process of calming the waters. It's the practice of withdrawing your attention from the endless thoughts, the logismoi, as the Fathers called them, that constantly assault us. It's not about suppressing them with force, but about gently letting them go, like letting clouds pass by in the sky, so that the water can become still. And when the water is perfectly still, what happens? It becomes a mirror. It can reflect the heavens. This is the ultimate goal of Hesychia. The Hesychasm seeks to still the soul so that it can become a clear reflector of God's presence. It's about making your inner world a place where God can dwell, and where you can perceive Him. So, how do you do this? The primary tool of the Hesychasm is the Jesus prayer. A simple, powerful, and repetitive prayer. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. The idea is to internalize this prayer until it becomes as natural as breathing. You pray it with your lips, then you pray it in your mind, and finally, by the grace of God, it descends into the heart, and begins to pray by itself from the depths of your being. This is where it gets really interesting. The Fathers of the Church describe this as an inner warfare. As you sit in silence and repeat the prayer, you will be bombarded with every thought, memory, and desire you've ever had. The Hesychasm learns to guard the heart and the mind, to stand as a watchman at the gates of their own soul, and to not let every passing thought take up residence. This practice was systematized in the 14th century by a great theologian, Saint Gregory Palamas. He defended the Hesychasm against critics who said you couldn't truly know God. Palamas made a crucial distinction. God's essence is unknowable, but His energies, His grace, His power, His life, are not. He argued that the Hesychasts, in their deep prayer, were truly encountering the uncreated light of God's energies, the same light that shone from Christ on Mount Tabor during the Transfiguration. Now, you might be thinking, that's beautiful, but I'm not a monk living on a mountain. I have a job, kids, bills to pay. How does this relate to me? The beauty of Hesychia is that it's an internal state. You can't always control your external circumstances, but you can, with practice, begin to cultivate an inner monastery. It starts with just 5 minutes a day. Find a quiet corner. Sit upright, and pay attention to your breathing. Gently, without force, begin to repeat the Jesus prayer, either aloud or in your mind. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me. When a thought comes, and it will, don't get angry. Gently return to the words of the prayer. This isn't about achieving a mystical experience. It's about building a habit of returning your attention to the divine. It's about creating a small pocket of stillness in your day, from which you can then re-engage the noisy world with more peace, more patience, and more love. Hesychia is the silence that speaks louder than any noise. It is the stillness that is more active than any frantic striving. It's the rest in motion that the saints spoke of. In a world that values production, consumption, and constant stimulation, Hesychia is a radical act. It's the declaration that your ultimate worth is not in what you produce, but in your capacity to receive love, grace, and peace. It is the practice of descending with the mind into the heart, and there, in the quiet, meeting the God who says, "Be still, and know that I am God."